Welcome back to the South Shore Boys podcast. I am one of your hosts, Logan O'Brien, joined as always with my
Look at that. Good. Our guest is excited.
joined as always with my two incredibly in shape co-hosts, Scott Sweeney and Dan Holland. A guy that needs to do a little work on himself, Tyler Swain. Wow. And joined by our returning guest, one of our favorites, one Will Noonan. Everybody,
Yay!
Our community of the year.
I
promise you, man. Seriously, you got fucking robbed. Do
I'm pretty upset about it, guys.
Right, start the clock. You got 18 minutes.
It's great to be here. It's great to be one of the most in shape guys at a table too. It feels good.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
I'm proud of you, man. You've been doing dry January except for that one.
One little blip.
Yeah.
You got to drink at the Comedy Choice Awards.
BCCA is
It's
so
a big
rich.
night
Yeah,
out.
we were driving there and my wife was like, "Do you think maybe just for tonight?" And I was like, "That's it. It just happened." I was like, "That's it. Like you've opened the door crack and we're going through."
When I saw you and her had a beer, I immediately plopped down next to you guys.
Yeah.
And we had a night, man.
We did.
Tyler was like, "Should I drive?" He's like, "I might." He's like, "I don't think I'm really gonna get after it tonight." I was like, "Yeah, okay, Tyler." Why don't
You were
take an
drinking
Uber, buddy?
moonshine.
I had a thing of moonshine and a bunch of beers, and I was like, I might Uber here. I might Uber.
And
I was like
then-
texting everyone. I was texting my mom, like, I'm Ubering into Boston right now. She's like, is your car
I'm
fucked
so
up?
proud of you.
Yeah. And then she didn't believe me. She thought my car was all totaled and I wouldn't
She
like
said,
tell her.
roll up the windows.
And then the last
they're
hour,
afraid of
of
Boston.
the Boston Comedy Choice Awards, and then the whole ride home, Tyler just kept going, "Are you sure you want to drive me home?" It's so nice of you.
Oh, he's a sweetie.
It's very nice. You know, he's kind of out of his way. He's
It would be funny if he didn't drive you home.
I almost kicked him out at one point because he would not stop saying, "This is really so nice."
That's the moonshine.
It's like he's fine. He's just drunk on moonshine. It's not that big of a deal.
Also-
moonshine drunk rules.
Tyler hates seatbelts so much that he never wears it. He literally has like a thing in his car that just like it just clips into the thing so that he doesn't have to wear it. And
Click it or suck my dick,
so
baby.
the my van like beeps if you don't buckle up. So it's like you have to buckle up. And he had one beer in his hand, and he's like, watching him try to figure out a seatbelt was like watching
With
like,
a beer in his hand? He's like,
Yeah, he literally didn't know what to do. I was like, put the fucking beer down.
Don't you ever say those words.
wait,
to
where
me.
did you get a beer?
He's
lost.
He's,
Don't worry about it. I brought one.
A roadie.
Yeah.
I like the head. Imagine getting in a head-on collision, and the last thing you see before you die is Tyler Swain coming through the windshield at you.
Oh my god, it's a dangerous sight.
Yeah.
He's the guy that attacked
literally
the judge.
taking a sip as it's happening.
Oh,
the
that's
cop,
yeah,
the
that'd
cop
be
in the
cool.
scene's like, I've only seen this in a moose.
Tyler's dusting himself off. The car's
I'm
in
fine.
half.
Yeah. I'm an action hero. That's what you guys are saying, right? I'm a big, strong guy.
Yeah,
Great.
Yes,
Thanks,
correct.
fellas.
The Rock. You're the
I'm
Rock.
kind of the rock.
Yeah.
You're the rock.
You're the boulder,
I'm the boulder
dude.
or something like that. Yeah.
That's good.
You want to do it? Yep. What up, Scotty? Want a tickle?
Brother. I'll take one of those.
That's what The Rock would do. He knows how to keep it moving.
I don't want to tickle.
All right, whatever. I'm giving out tickles. Well, I'll get you at some point. Hey, I know we're not supposed to talk about dreams, but
We have a
Come
no
on, man.
dreams
I want to be an
policy.
astronaut.
no, not those. Not like our ambitions. We don't talk about those.
No,
either.
not a cheat.
No, but you've been coming in your sleep.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what's been going on. I've been having wet dreams like a fucking 12-year-old.
Nocturnal.
Left
Really?
and right. Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Coincidentally, Dan also did just mention he started talking to one of the guys at work more consistently.
Shut up. No, I'm not fucking coming for him.
Fucking no.
Just his
New boyfriend.
subconscious is, not him.
Who's your new boyfriend?
I don't have a boyfriend. It feels like in my dream,
It's him with giant tits.
I'm pissed. It feels like I'm pissing my pants in the dream.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's the wet
Wait,
dream
I
feeling.
hate it.
Wait, but are you? Wait, are you sure you have
Feel
wet
an
dreams?
orgasm?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Wait, you waking up coming?
I'm waking up. There's cum in my shorts.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not
Shots.
piss?
It's not piss. I got some thick piss.
I like
That's what's going
I
on.
like Dan Hall like sleeps on your couch in the middle of the night. You just hear like, oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Oh fuck.
I don't know what's happening, but it's got to stop, and I can't control it.
I'm having a nocturnal mission.
The new Ted prequel series got you all worked up.
Yeah,
Really.
the Ted prequel series fucking rules.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's fucking
I was
sick.
laughing at it.
Someone told me last night that
Because
it's
I don't.
very, very
I don't
funny.
really like the Ted movies.
What?
What's wrong with you?
They mention
I
all
just don't think
sorts
they're
of
very
stuff.
funny. I don't know.
You're fucked up, man.
I'm
It's like-
coming
I
from it.
auditioned for one of those movies. I got to audition for Seth MacFarlane Like for a one line part. That's how like weird he is.
Oh, they meant the part of Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, no. Like
what
for like
fuck?
they go, you get the call back. I'm like, oh great. And they go, yeah, he's here. Like it's just you and him. And literally my line was like something so stupid, like, oh, it's in here. Like that was it.
Yeah.
And I like went in and I was like, oh, it's in here. And he's like, great job. Thank you very much, man. Nice to meet you.
We're going to go with Raffy.
And I was
Can
like,
you do
this is crazy.
Stewie
like,
for
I'm
me?
in this room with Ryan the dog.
You remember when they did the Sam Adams commercial auditions, and it was like, it was like me, you, Don Zolo, Higginbottom, and like somebody else. And when we were starting, the auditions were at the other end of the hallway, and then right before I went in, they're like, actually moving it to this room right here, like right where all the comics are sitting outside. And I was like, oh, well, now I'm having a panic attack. Like, everybody's going to hear me audition. And I completely, like, froze in there. It was so awkward because they're like, just tell us a little bit about yourself. And I was like, oh, I'm a comic in Boston. I came third in Massachusetts Funniest. Well, no, they say that,
I know.
I'm trying.
I know.
I was like supposed to sell myself.
I know.
But I'm not kidding. I saw the lady like perk up on that. She's like, oh. And then I bombed the audition so hard. She was like, oh. She's like, get the fuck out.
Third. That makes sense.
He came in ninth today.
She's like, thanks for wasting our time.
Yeah.
I was literally like,
They've seen it all though. I've seen some wild shit there. My favorite one. I've said it before, but this I auditioned for The Fighter. There, like one of the meathead roles.
Yeah.
They had like it was open, so there were like dudes from Eastie and all these dudes there, like real scumbags. Like I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
This guy walks out. There's a lot of people in there, and this guy walks out. There's probably 40 people in that little hallway, and this guy walks out and he goes, "You guys all might as well fucking go home because I just nailed it."
Oh hell
And
yeah.
it was like. Not a moment though. He thought he was having. Everyone was just like, okay, but
sounds good, homo.
Yeah. They used to have a girl with Down syndrome who worked the sign-ins there, and people. The funniest thing about her was she was like a wicked tough bitch. Like all the women that work there are like really tough and like pushy and stuff. That's kind of like the vibe of The Office. So it would be funny. People would be like, "Hello," and she'd be like, "Stop fucking with me and just sign the paper." You know what I mean? And when that kid said that, she was like, "Just get out of here." It was so funny. I was like, "You fucking get him."
You were like, you knew she was there. You were just showing up with lollipops. You're like, there you go.
Yeah.
Slap my name up the list a little bit.
I mean, we dated for a while.
That's how you got those Honda commercials.
Yeah, that's the biz, baby. Yeah.
That's great. Do you still do auditions?
Yeah, not as often as I used to.
Are they all online or video?
That's why I'm not.
They
doing
suck
them.
that
I'm not
way.
good.
I've only
them.
done the one in person with the Sam Adams. I was like, this is sick.
I
Let's
thought
do this all the
I
time.
think for us, like as comics, that's like where we are like killing it. Like that's where I think I got a lot of my gigs was like because I can go in the room with 4 or 5 people and I'm like and it's like an actor they get nervous and they just don't have that ability.
Yeah.
So like comics are good in the room. Me and Tony talk about this a lot because we've both gotten less work since it's become
Virtual.
Digital.
at home.
Yeah.
It's also sort of like ridiculous what they ask. I've been doing this forever, and it's like even driving in was like kind of a pain in the butt. But it was like you drive in the city, you do the audition, now you get a cup of coffee or lunch or something.
You make a day out of
It's
it.
like a
Yeah.
thing, but
Why
it's
am I talking?
yeah. But even that wasn't like such a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But like this thing is like, all right, film yourself, upload it, edit it. We want the lighting and sound to be good. I'm like, this takes like an hour. And a
Yeah,
half,
it's so
2
much more
hours
work to do it that way.
for something that you probably won't get. Most 90%.
And it could just be based off like the fucking lighting or like whatever it might
sound
be.
or something
Yeah.
like that,
And
But
I
like-
felt like I got pissed because I was like, this already wasn't like some great gig auditioning for parts all the time. Like, it's already sort of demeaning and you don't get a lot and you put in work. So to have us kind of edit our own shit, I
Doing
was like,
it
this
alone
won't,
is
this
like-
won't last forever.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that clip? Like, there's an actor that did like a Zoom audition, and then the like casting director thought he disconnected, and he starts like talking shit about the actor, and the guy's like, "Actually, I'm like still on right now." And the guy's like, "Oh, I am. I'm so sorry."
That doesn't surprise me like one.
The Down
bit. I've
syndrome
heard
girl.
that.
Like, get off the Zoom.
I mean, they're pretty brutal. Casting directors, I think it is a hard job too, like of its own, and they deal with everybody.
You just got to deal with everyone's fucking kissing your ass, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, but the old school ones, there's not a lot of them left. There's one in Boston though, like the old school ones from like the 80s and 90s. Then when they used to just like smoke and be like, "Sit down, say the words," like it was kind of fun, like in that way.
I think I'm gonna become an actor.
Yeah, let's become actors.
I think I'm gonna do that.
We'll send in virtual audition tapes of all 4 of us.
Let's act right now. Give us a scene.
I only did one last. I did only one on like camera commercial, which was. Did you see me in the cowboy outfit? Remember that?
I don't remember.
It was actually quite a thrill for
But
me.
can you put it up right here?
There's not many
right
like,
here.
reasons to wear a cowboy outfit and not be a complete dildo. So it's
it
nice
was-
to like get a reason to do it.
So they had a fake horse that I sat on, and
That's sick.
I got to
Fake horse?
Yeah, it was all green screen.
They're like, we couldn't possibly trust you to ride. a
Oh
real
fuck
horse.
no! They couldn't even trust me. I hit the guy in the face with the.
The lasso.
They had a guy, the cameraman, like pointing it right up, and they're like, "All right, well," but they did say like, "We want it almost into the camera." You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, like I don't have this talent. Like, this isn't like something I've ever done before in my life, but I'll give it my best shot." And I'm like,
Just out of
And I did-
curiosity, what was the ethnicity of the cameraman?
he was white. Thank God. Thank God he
actually,
was
like,
white.
hog-tied
It was a
producer
commercial
or
shoot, so everyone in the room was white.
Yeah, the good old days.
You do meet like the same person over and over. It's like, oh, you're not the same hair and makeup woman, but you
Yeah.
are like skinny, have blue hair, and like a nose ring. You know, like
artist. Yeah.
Oh.
Do you like?
I'll fuck her, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's everyone does. Everyone wants to. No one
Yeah.
does.
I wanted to do my makeup.
Our
You go,
commer-
you make me look
want
pretty, and
to
I'll
put
make you
lipstick
feel
on.
pretty.
Oh wow.
She
goes, "Get out."
Lipstick on me and
I
I'll
love how
kiss
Logan's like David Bowie level of narcissist. It's like one of my favorite things.
Wow, it's a joke.
I'm just fucking.
No one's ever nailed it that quickly.
Sorry, all I heard was Logan's like David Bowie.
I actually knew. I knew from
Chomo.
being friends with Del
Gay.
Volpe to like you got to start with like a little butter up and then get the dig. Like, Del Volpe is the most talented, ugly comedian. That's how you got to do it.
ADV.
That's great.
ADV. Do you guys ever have him on
I was
this?
just saying, we gotta get ADV on.
Yeah.
We're always like curious who wants to do this because it's a little.
Who wouldn't
It's
now?
a little.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah. It's just pretty fancy. We're all facing the same.
I just make because sometimes we say things on here
audience
that I feel like
is
people would be like,
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's we won't mention it
My wife
by
always-
name, but we had a
I
guest.
love those guys. That's what my wife.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not gay.
She
dude.
loves you too.
I love
she
her
hanging with
so
Tai
much.
Tai.
Yeah, we have a good time when we hang
I think
out.
you were a bad influence on her. She was wrecked.
I tried my best.
yeah.
I was trying to get both of your ladies all sauced
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
At one point, you guys are both gone. I was just sitting between both of your ladies, and it was just like you're. Can I say Claire?
Yeah, you can
Okay,
say
yeah.
it.
Claire would say something to me, and then Kelsey would say, "I was like, whoa,"
Don't say her name.
and I was like, "Oh, fuck, this is weird."
Tyler's like, shots for the table, shots for the table.
The boys are gone.
Thomas got his arms around both of them.
In Tyler's head, he's like, I'm the man, has his arms around both women. They're literally carrying him out.
They can't carry me. I'm a burly guy.
I didn't like that Sam Winter. I didn't like it at all.
You didn't like the cold
I
stone?
had a few of them, but I didn't like
Oh,
it.
I got one sitting on my bureau right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like any of the. I only like the
You
Oktoberfest
guys
for
just
Sam.
bitter about the audition.
The summer. Yeah, I do that thing sometimes where I'm like, I was almost in that.
Yeah.
Anytime the cousin from Boston comes on television, I'm always like, fuck. I'm like, this guy's a fucking millionaire.
Yeah, he made
Or
that.
What?
Super Bowl
This guy's like a
He's like a
thousand.
nice guy too. I've heard. I've heard he's a nice
I
guy.
heard he's a fucking chump, man.
Fucking asshole.
Fuck that bitch, dude. Seriously.
But everybody has that cousin.
From Boston.
You know what? Didn't you guys think like this is the dumbest? Like how is this a paid? How did they pay? Because the biggest ad agency like in the country wrote that ad.
Yeah.
Like they paid millions for them to be like, how about a dickhead cousin?
Yeah.
You know, like everyone was kind of like, this is. I was still working for Honda at the time. Everyone was kind of like, this is like crap. Like
Yeah.
it's like the worst idea. Usually, like even around here for like a a local thing, like for like some plumbing company or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
You have a super thick Boston accent,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get like wicked good plumbing. Like it's the same. Half the ads in Boston are like that.
It's funny that it's like the only region. Like, if you wrote a character from like anywhere else in the world,
Like
that would be
China.
like
Yeah.
so offensive. But they're like, oh, they're from Boston. Yeah, just write a retarded guy.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
just idiots in
And I remember-
Boston.
I remember thinking like,
Chinese cousin.
like is our accent that
From
funny?
Boston.
Like would we want to watch like an Alabama like accent commercial?
that's like
you
the
know?
weird-
Actually, you know what?
part.
Now that you said that, I guess we do that to
Southern.
Southerners,
Yeah.
where it's like, "Whoa, you're gonna fuck
Hot
your cousin,
baby.
grab your truck, and fucking inbred."
When I was in the South, though, I felt like some of them do that. I'm like, you're dialing it up.
Oh,
He
yeah.
didn't put it on like the way we put it on.
I think so.
Yeah, the way I fake mine.
Yeah, off camera, Dan is like, okay, boys,
I'm
let's
like,
do
hello,
this.
gentlemen.
I've been having wet dreams.
I have friends that think Dan's accent is like a complete put on.
I've heard audience members several times be like, come on.
People have asked me.
What the fuck?
I've
they're like
heard the accusations also.
I hate that. I wish I didn't have this.
And
I sound like a fucking
the
moron.
prosthetic head is also a thing.
Did you recently ask me if he was drinking again? Was that you?
Yes.
Because he came up to you and told you. Okay, it was Will. Yeah. 'Cause
Yes.
He came up to you and I'm fucked up.
No. He said, he goes, all I'm going to do this weekend is black out and play Starfield for like 5 hours. And I was like,
Okay, you can't
I was
black
like,
out on weed.
dope.
Right?
But I was like, is this a weed blackout? Is this an Xbox blackout? Or is this
Nope, it's
blackout,
treats.
It's actually a treat.
Yeah, it was
I've had too
all
many
honey
of those.
buns.
And Dan comes to his nostrils are just covered in fucking granulated sugar.
what was it anyway? What were you talking
I
about?
was just talking about
Just getting into the
getting
game.
Yeah.
Zoning out.
And I finished the game, and it's great.
I can't beat Hogwarts Legacy. I'm so fucking like bored with it, but I just keep playing it.
We just beat, my wife and I played together.
Wow,
What's
that's
that?
sweet.
She really plays, and every now and then I'll hop in and
You'll hit her.
do a little buff. Yeah.
It's just so repetitive.
Better spell, bitch.
You didn't level up yet?
Also, it'll be like, I'm playing that game to kill fucking like wizards and goblins and shit, and they're like, now go capture furry animals in the forest. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
It's a girl game.
It was.
It is. That's what like Kelsey plays. She plays like girl games where you like go around and like collect stuff.
It was weird.
Logan's a girl.
Logan's a girl.
My wife like never got into. She never was like. She played a little GameCube. Like she said, like Zelda when she was a kid, but she's never like shown any interest in playing like my Xbox or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? And then when Hogwarts Legacy came out, she was like, I do want to play that really bad. So I got it for her, like, on like the thing. I downloaded it or whatever. So she at first like she really was like a girl with a controller. She couldn't like do it right. She's like, what are these? The bumpers were confusing her and
I
stuff.
don't know how to drive.
And then
You came up behind her and you hugged her.
Yeah, it's like turn the lights down.
That's a
But
very funny idea.
like now it's like she just
LB,
beat it,
baby.
but there were at least
Still looks
2
like sketch.
or 3 Saturdays where she just like a dude sat there on the couch for 8 hours. Like I'd go for a run, come back, she's still like
She was blacking out.
she had that same like zombie intensity that like we get. And I was like, I've never loved you so fucking much.
Like, baby, you just gonna sit on the couch all
Yeah.
day?
Yeah, I was like, this is dope. I never had a gamer girlfriend before, and this one's my wife.
So I don't play girl games, but I am. I am right
You're
now.
all girl games, dude.
I am right now listening.
How's
to,
Animal Crossing, bitch?
I never play Animal Crossing.
Yeah, you do.
That's what they
Stardew
call
Valley.
it.
Stardew Valley.
Animal Crossing. That's what they call it when your mom's crossing the street, bro.
Hey, can we talk for
But I am listening to Britney Spears' audiobook right now. And,
Does she read it?
Girl book.
No, Michelle Williams reads it actually.
Girl games, girl book, yeah.
But it is Britney Spears. Apparently, somebody told me she used a ghostwriter, and she should sue them because the book makes her sound completely retarded.
Everyone uses a ghostwriter for.
But it's written with like a 5th grade comprehension level. Like I feel like I'm listening to like a 12-year-old girl's diary. It is like the worst book I've ever listened to.
Logan's outside my window again.
Fucking freak.
She starts everyone with, oh,
She
baby,
cut that out of
baby.
the book.
Baby, baby. How
What,
was I supposed to know?
Is there anything you've like found out in the book that's revealing?
I mean, she, it goes in depth about like the whole conservatorship, but it's like
Yeah.
it's very sad, but it's also like I don't know if I like believe you. Like she's like, I never had a drug problem. All I ever did was like Adderall.
Free
And like
Britney.
occasionally I would drink, and it's like, okay, well, there's video of
leave
you
Britney
bald
alone.
smashing the window of like a fucking car with an umbrella. I've never done Adderall, and then like, you know what I should do? Shave my head and fucking commit like
she like
fucking
went off. What
a lot
year
of
was
Adderall.
that? It was like 05, 06 or something like
Leave
that.
Britney alone
somewhere
stuff.
around there.
I remember I only lived in LA for like 10 months. It was a little less than a year. But me and my buddy went to like just go get coffee or something like really mundane. And we were like,
pretty cute, yeah.
and it was like a quiet little street. And we go and we're like, get the coffee. It's just like a really boring thing. And we're walking like to our car and we hear like, ah! Like this crazy like roar. And like to the point where like we jumped like almost.
Yeah.
Because we were like, it sounded like almost like a fight broke out.
Yeah,
And it was her leaving someplace.
Whoa.
I never even like I saw like a glimpse of blonde hair, but I just saw like this like it
went,
wasn't like in a movie where it's like Britney. It was just like "Ah!" like they just sounded like Vikings.
Oh, it was all the people taking pictures of
Yeah,
her.
taking pictures and fans and
Oh, damn.
they weren't like, and it was weird because
Poor
we were
Britney.
on that street. Like I didn't see anyone milling about. Like I had we saw nothing. But I remember when she went crazy, like it seemed like a year later, I was like, yeah, that would, if I went through that every day, I'd go crazy too. Like
Yeah.
that
It is
scared
tough.
us
Yeah,
across the street.
But she talked to she sounds like repetitive behavior because she says in the book she's like in her car or like she's in the passenger seat, her friend's driving, and a guy like with a camera came up and started like asking her questions, and like the friend was like, please leave us alone, we're trying to leave. And like she's like, I finally just screamed.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
she's like, but that's what they want. Like they wanted me
Yeah,
to
they want to
react
see you
that
be
way.
crazy. Yeah.
fucking lose my.
Yeah, that is a weird, and that was the peak of, like, getting that photo was like you could sell it to a magazine and make a ton of money. Like now, I don't think it says like you can make as much money off
Because
celebrities.
everybody has fucking
tabloids.
phones
Yeah.
like with cameras.
It's a whole South Park episode actually.
But back then it was like that. I remember you'd see him. I'd see him when I was going to school. Sometimes you'd see like a few of them like hanging outside of like a hotel or something. But I'd never seen anything like that. It was fucking scary.
What'd you do in L.A.?
I was trying. I was trying to be like an actor. I hadn't even started stand up yet. That was when I started though to really go,
Yeah, be like, I should do this.
I had
instead.
meetings like out there. My buddy was doing well, and I had meetings out there. He set them up for me, and it was so funny. Like I'd go to these meetings with like seasoned Hollywood agents and stuff, and they'd be like, you ever thought about stand-up comedy or improv or something? Like, and I'm like, I'm a serious fucking actor.
No, sir.
Why do people who know stuff keep telling me this? Like, it was funny, and my buddy had to be like, dude, like, I'm telling you, I've always thought that too. Like,
Yeah.
try it. And I started, and I was like seeing it all the time, so I was like almost like in denial. Because I kind of saw myself as like a young Ethan Hawke, and I was like, he didn't do stand-up comedy. You know what I mean?
Well, you also hate being told what to do. Like,
Yeah.
anytime someone's like, you should do this, you're like, no.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
But it was like I was a
you,
hardo, and I
bitch.
thought I was like,
I don't know much.
I thought I was funny, but I was like, I'm funny in interviews. I want to be serious in movies. Like, that was like my idea back then. But I moved there in the dumbest way. Like I got out of acting school, I got cast in one play, I got like one good review, and I was like, I'm moving to LA. That's what you do.
Yeah,
it's a live and die,
It was
baby.
basically so stupid because I was, everyone moves to LA like every day.
Did you do your first mic in LA or was that New York?
No, I did the first mic shortly after though returning from LA. I spent like 6 months writing my fucking first 5. Like
Yeah?
I was super
Do you
nervous.
did
remember-
that too.
Can you tell me about the first 5?
Yeah,
Remember?
it was a New Year's resolution. I just had my 17th year anniversary.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
it's like,
Cheers.
because
Oh,
it was
man,
thank you, bro.
congrats,
Thanks,
dude,
Scott.
really.
Wow,
Yeah.
congrats.
17 years.
17.
What anniversary is that? Is that-
R-rated movie.
Oh,
Get in.
Next year you can fuck your career.
I can
man.
fuck it up.
Pretty sexy.
Yeah. I got headshots older than you, Tyler. Anyway, yeah, it was right after I got back to New York.
But what was the first 5 about? Do you remember like any of the bits?
Yeah, I remember my closing bit was.
Can you do the whole act?
I probably almost could. I remember I used to have jokes about like.
How'd you open? Did you open with like a silly quick one?
No, I opened with. I used to open with like I'd get right into it because I saw myself as like quite a writer.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, we also do.
And I was like, I was like, well, I remember I had this joke about Family Feud that I used to love doing. I was like, Family Feud. You can really find out about races when you watch Family Feud. Like, they never put 2 families of the same race on anymore. Like they want you to. I go, it's interesting the way people answer questions. I go. They asked.
I'm loving this.
They asked they asked. They had a Puerto Rican family and a white family on. They asked name a celebrity. No, sorry. Name an animal with a large trunk. The white family said an elephant. The Puerto Rican family said J-Lo.
Yeah!
Opening bit.
Bring it back.
And my closing bit. So all my jokes are about like celebrities because that I was like, I'm trying to be. I was like, this is how you get a writing job, right? That was my idea. So my closing joke, though, I still think is pretty good. It was like
I think the opening joke's pretty good.
my closing joke was
The Mayflower.
Cheryl Crow. Cheryl Crow just she had a terminal illness, but luckily for her, it went away, So isn't it nice to know that even cancer only has a passing interest in Cheryl Crow?
That's good.
We're taking him down.
You like monologue. They were like,
Yeah.
we'll be right back.
That was like all I was doing. Yeah, we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
That was like my whole goal. For like the first 2 years, I wrote nothing personal, nothing. I remember even hearing a guy go like, I was like walking with my girlfriend yesterday and I had the worst farts. And I remember thinking like, wow, that guy just writes about his life.
That guy's life is just crazy, man.
I'm like, I'm out here writing about celebrities. This dude's living.
I wish my girl was farting like
That
that.
guy's such a truth teller, dude.
Do you remember like how like these dudes would be like your heroes when you first start? Like guys who could just get a laugh out of Mike were like my
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
I thought Bill McMorrow was like the best comic I've ever seen. in
That's
my
what I
life.
mean,
Yeah.
like stuff like that, you know.
Still
I mean,
think
Bill's
he's
great,
I
but,
still think
but
he's
it's
great.
true. Like one of the things I see a lot is like dudes or people when they start and they see like a really
Dude, or people.
Whoever wants to
it
start.
would be worse if I went the other way.
Women can start too.
I didn't like. I hate doing it because whenever I do an example, I'm like, you know, some guy, because it's like most of us are guys,
Yeah.
and then there's always like someone's face like,
Throwing enough girls in your story.
I see a lot of like new comedians. They fall in love with like hacks at first. Like they see,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
if they see a hack, like the first time you see like a hack comedian like really level a room, like you're like, wow, that's like a fucking.
Yeah, man, we loved you immediately.
I had it. I had it there.
I know. It's like I'm really like serving it on a platter.
Yeah. No, but I know exactly what you mean. I can
Yeah.
think back to like be like, I was like, oh, jeez, man, I liked them.
Yeah.
I don't want to say any names.
I remember early on, I was trying to do a joke about like the cure for a hangover, and it was like heavily focused on like beating off in bed and like ordering food and like watching
Remember that
like
joke.
a movie on TV.
Right, what you know.
Literally, but
Man,
then-
this guy lives.
I
But I remember.
bitch be farting.
Well, no, I remember a girl comic came up to me after and was like, you know, you say jacking off, but like that's not really relatable to girls. Like you should like change the wording. And I was like, no.
They've heard of jacking off.
It's also kind of funny, like like a girl couldn't make that connection. Like, oh, what does he
What's he
mean?
talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, so, I'm like,
Jacking
all right, now I'm gonna
off?
do the same joke for the ladies. So you lay there, you flick your bean.
Flick your beans. The DJ.
Will, who's the most famous person you've ever met? That's a good question, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess
that's
we're
the-
doing just a regular interview.
Are we talking Matt? Like just for a second? I've met some pretty famous people, but
Let's do for a second, then do.
Then like hung out with.
I
yeah.
met Paul Newman for like a second.
Whoa.
Of Newman's Own.
Yeah, Newman's
That's
on.
sick.
And-
Scotty's
Yeah.
star.
Cool Hand Luke. Couple
guy.
movies
My
too,
guy.
Dan. My wife said that. She's like, the salad dressing guy?
Was he old? He must have been
Yeah, he
old.
was super old. I was
Yeah.
when I was like 18. I met him at a Broadway thing, like my school set up.
Wow.
And I was like,
Did
I
he
was-
show you like,
I shook his hand.
Sir, your frozen pizzas are so fucking good.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, I loved your work in Honey Mustard.
I don't know. I was like, someone asked me this the other day. I consider athletes pretty famous, but
yeah, it depends.
but I guess now people I like have known are getting pretty famous.
Yeah.
True.
That makes sense.
And it's funny because sometimes they're still your friends who you like get annoyed with,
Yeah.
and you're like
they're
I was
famous.
like I was annoyed at Schulz yesterday. We were talking on the phone, and I was like, it's funny. I go, people like love this guy. They like adore him. They would like pay 10 grand to talk to him on the phone. And I'm
Yeah.
like, could you like stop?
Being a fucking.
I have to walk into this building. You know what I mean? Like,
In the middle
like,
of Harry Potter. fucking-
that's that thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I know.
You know, when I did
he
this,
was at MGM.
when
That
I did
was
this
fucking-
sleepover movie thing,
Yeah.
the Malin Ackerman, like the actress
Ooh.
from Watchmen and
Mike
stuff.
Hill now.
We like got to her, like we all got to chill for like days, right?
yeah.
And but the first time she like unexpectedly walked into a room that I was in, I was like,
Uh-oh.
oh my god,
Like
that's
stunning.
a fucking movie star.
Yeah.
I'm realizing right now
Shit.
we asked you this last time.
Oh, yeah, same question.
Yeah, we had this.
We got sick
Same
lights now, though.
Yeah.
So.
Now we're under the light.
Episode 2. But I
know-
I tell that story, yeah, because I tell that story all the time because it really
Like,
was.
I'm
like,
hearing it for
holy
the
shit.
first time. Man, you
It's
can
one of
tell
those
me all
moments
the
where you go, oh yeah, you're like a super being of
Yeah.
genetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she got discovered in like a bar. You know, someone saw her in like a bar in Sweden.
like,
Was
"You're a
like,
babe."
"You're gonna be a movie star.
Damn, that
Let's
must
go."
be so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get in the cab.
Just
Look
to be
that way.
hot.
Did I tell you guys how I told her to buy an iPhone charger on Amazon and she looked at me like,
Maybe. That
I think I
sounds
did
more
tell you
familiar.
that. Yeah. I got 4 stories I tell her.
She's like,
I
you're
knew-
not just bringing me a charger?
Yeah.
Like, what is
She was
this?
like, I was like, yeah, I get the long ones on Amazon, and I lose them all the time. She looked at me like, yeah, okay. I get them from the Apple
my
Store.
fingers and somebody brings
Mine are
me
made out of Asian people's hair.
Noonan's like, if you go to Chipotle and ask for a water,
I know someone that went to Schulz last night. Their friend brought them. They didn't like know his comedy at all. And I was like, "How was it?" And she was like, "I mean, he killed." I was mortified. She was like, "He's just sexist and racist." I was like, "Sexism and racism's funny."
Well, that's what we were doing on the phone.
Get
We
on
were
the
doing
pod,
some
Chelsea.
Boston. He was like, "What's I want to do some stuff about Boston, but I don't really know what's going on." So I was like,
well, I didn't win the Boston Comedy Choice.
yeah, I was like, number one story in town. I was snubbed.
It's like, how many people here know that loser Will Noonan? I guess the friend said she was getting sat. They're like comedy adjacent, like to Boston, but they don't do comedy. But they said they were getting sat, and the person sitting, somehow it came up, and they're like, "Oh, you probably go to like basement shows in Article 2, like in Brighton or something." She was like, "Yeah, all the time. I know those people." Like,
What's that about?
I don't know, but they said
one of the ushers said this.
Yeah, and she said the guy like completely shrank when she was like,
That's
"Yeah,
bizarre.
I'm like friends with them." He was like, "Oh."
That is so weird.
How do you get to Yeah.
I did that job. I was an usher for years, and it's like I never
These are my
fucking mixed it up like that with people.
No,
Yeah,
you go there,
yeah.
you sit,
You just go,
nice
here you
ass.
go.
It's always like
This-
80-year-old women most of the time.
This girl and her friend are very like we went to I met them at the bar last night, and they would like talk to anybody about anything. So I think they kind of like
Chatted
welcome
him up.
that sort of engagement.
Speaking of famous people, when I had that job doing an usher thing, I was in New York. My buddy who also did it, he had to help Martha Stewart,
Yeah.
who was shit-faced.
Hell yeah.
Yes, that
Martha.
girl.
Let me see
Him
those
and a security guard.
titties.
They were like walking her down, and she was like that fun kind of. She was like, "I'm shit-faced."
Yeah.
Martha, you get on the pod,
Meryl
too.
Streep
Yeah.
drunk.
She was going to
Yeah.
see the Allman Brothers. She gets
what is
down,
Meryl
bro.
Streep?
I don't know. I just watched
like a
It's
Dan
Complicated the other night.
Wait, Martha was Meryl Streep level from It's
I just
Complicated.
think they're the same
Yeah.
person in my head.
Do you think Meryl Streep is a pretty woman?
Yes.
I don't really.
I love
She's-
Meryl
she's-
Streep.
Doesn't really do anything.
I mean,
I'm a little
she's
weird
fucking
about her face.
Yeah.
Botched. What?
What?
I love her. She's great. And Alec Baldwin.
Okay.
Come on, man.
I'm not saying she's a bad. I mean, she's like one of the greatest actors ever. I'm not saying that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
she
she has a
is.
great. Like I'm not saying. I think she's a good-looking woman and a great actress. But I personally am not like.
You don't want to.
I don't
she's not.
see it.
She's not like Margot Robbie
like a
or like
beautiful
like somebody that's
woman.
just like objectively like one of the hottest people
Like,
that's ever
people
walked
her
the
age,
planet.
like Mary Steenburgen. I always thought was really hot.
Hmm.
Ted
She's
Danson's
a-
wife.
She's an older babe.
Yeah.
Is she the one she's like
I won't
the
fuck any of these people.
stepmom? Well, she's the mom in Step Brothers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she is
Yeah.
hot.
She's
She's
hot,
very
right?
hot, and I just finished Justified a few months ago. And
Yeah.
she's in one of the later seasons. She's
I'm
very
into her.
hot.
Who's the woman with the red hair that was in Boogie Nights?
Julianne Moore.
I love her.
She's
She's
very
hot.
hot.
She's the best.
Oh, you got a little type, Danny.
Yeah.
Well, she's
likes-
also hot
Danny
in
likes
that
a
movie.
mousy.
Yeah.
Because she's literally a
Who else you
porn
guys
star.
want to fuck?
So sick.
Gwyneth
She's like, I
Paltrow's
want you to
mom,
come in
Blythe
here.
Danner. You know her, Blythe Danner.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's a stretch, but
The
I
Meet
was-
the Parents.
Yeah, Meet the Parents mom.
Yeah.
The blonde.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Elon
Gwyneth
Musk's
Paltrow's
mom.
Oh, I'll fuck her too, man.
I swear to God. Elon Musk's
We're
mom.
talking about actresses, Dan.
She's a famous
this
model.
fucking loser's
Famous,
mom.
just sexy model,
Elon
man.
Musk's mom.
What do you guys think about Elon Musk? You like that
I
guy?
like
No, I fucking hate Elon
Logan
Musk.
hates him.
Look
I
at
think
her.
he's Cool.
May Musk.
Ew, dude.
Logan's
she looks
political.
like one
He
of
is
the
very
White Walkers who
political
fucking came of Thrones.
Logan's political.
Logan's
charged.
political, I've noticed.
Yeah.
I have
He has
some.
a lot of takes
I
on
have some.
things.
She looks like
opinions.
Cruella de Vil.
Oh, yeah, she's kind of hot.
I don't think that's hot. She looks like a ghoul.
I mean, for like a 90-year-old woman,
She
67-year-old
looks like
woman.
she smells like the
pretty bad.
perfume section at like Sears.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
yes, 100%. Do you remember at the Braintree Mall, there was the jewelry place, and there used to be this woman whose
Perfumery.
her hair was like Marge Simpson's
Oh yes,
hair.
yes, yes.
And
I do
literally,
remember that.
I don't know why we thought it was funny because it wasn't, but like when we were in high school,
an
we'd
icon.
walk by and just go, "Lady with the big hair."
That's
she
very
lived
funny.
for it. She was like, "That's me."
Just the usher thing. My friend Aaron, he lived in New York for a long time, and he worked at like one of the event spaces that like they would have like premieres and shit at. And he said he was there one time. Michael Shannon was there, and he was like, "Dude, I approached." He was like, "I have to
Hello?
say something to him," and he like walked up, and he's like, "Hey, hey man, I'm Aaron. I'm a big fan." And he was like, "Hey, I'm Mike," and he was like, "No, I know you are." And he's like, "Dude," he was like nervous to
Yeah.
meet me. That's like
kinda
a
cute,
weird
man.
guy.
That is cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm such a lucky boy. What is that?
Yeah. That meme thing.
He's
Him in the
great. He's like-
Criterion Closet.
The movie, what is it? The Revenant with him and not Revenant. The one with Revolution Road.
Yes.
Oh,
He
yeah.
where
has that
played
scene with. He's
Kathy
like.
Bates.
It's like Kathy Bates and DiCaprio and
Also
Kate
one of my
Winslet.
faves.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be like
I'd fuck some
twisted.
people for
He's
that.
kind of like a 1950s version of just like bipolar or something.
Yeah.
He always plays a fucking like weird creep.
Yeah, he's always like the villain or like the weirdest dude.
It's
And
just-
and a lot of times like from that time period, fucking Revolutionary Road, Boardwalk Empire, The Shape of Water. Like he's always like a 1930s, 40s, 50s kind of like weird creep.
He's got those eyes, like those wild eyes.
That's where
Have
he
you ever
belongs.
seen him do the dramatic reading of the sorority letter?
Yeah.
That's one of the like greatest things I've ever seen
Yeah,
in
it's
my life.
super good. And this monologue from Revolution Road is like one of my favorites of all time. He like crushes it.
Yeah, he's
I liked him in
incredible that.
Kangaroo Jack.
One of my first DVDs I ever bought. Actually. Yeah, that was sick.
Never
That's a
seen
good
it.
pull. That's like the saddest movie ever, but it's really good.
Yeah, I like weird sad movies.
Well enough.
A kangaroo in a hoodie?
It is a sad movie.
When the kangaroo says goodbye to Jerry O'Connell and Anthony Anderson, I fucking well up every time.
Jerry
Boy,
O'Connell.
see you later. Whatever.
Jerry O'Connell's like the fucking store brand Jason Bateman.
Yeah, I do
Yes.
always get them
Jason
mixed
Bateman,
up.
I feel like. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
No, that's all.
He looks like shit. Like,
Yeah,
like
fuck him, man.
there's too many like. There's too many things going on. I'm like, you have like doll hair. Your skin is like painted on. Just like be 55,
Yeah.
bro. Like, just give it
Stop
up.
pretending to be.
You know,
Yeah.
stop trying to be 30 forever.
Dude, Jason, seriously, get your fucking act together.
I fucking
man.
hate those three guys. It's like, yeah, man, all these unfamous people are having a nice time, like trying to do podcasts. Why don't we just do one?
Yeah.
You hate
But
that?
yeah, but have you ever listened to it? I actually they're like a fun dynamic. I
Yeah.
like it. I mostly just love Will Arnett. Sean Hayes, like,
Will
so
Arnett's
tanked,
the
but-
man.
One time when I was in acting school, I got into a cool Call of Duty like game
Sounds cool.
with people who worked for SNL. I was like,
cool.
hell yeah.
I knew some people who worked at SNL, and I was trying anything I could to like
Network
ingratiate
with them?
myself and
Yeah.
network. And one of them was like, well, we play a lot of us in the crew like play Call of Duty. If you want to join our like league or
Yeah.
whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that, you know? It was like the first time doing it, and I played in a game with Will Arnett.
Yeah.
And he was
Wow,
a
that's
jerk.
a great voice to have. Like,
It
with
was.
headphones.
Well, that's how we knew it was even him. You
Boning you, noob.
And it was, but he was
You kill him. He's like, William.
he was just mad I was there. He was doing that thing. It was just like being with real famous people. He was like, "Who's this fucking guy? Who is this guy? He doesn't know anything."
He's camping.
You know?
He has a. I wonder what year was that?
This was like, God. This was like. I mean, he was not that famous. The only reason everyone was like, he's Amy Poehler's husband.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like I knew him from other stuff, like, but he wasn't.
Amy Poehler's
I don't even
husband?
know if
They divorced.
Arrested Development. No, Arrested Development had definitely come out.
I'm curious because he has.
Michael.
I think they had Bradley Cooper on their podcast, and they tell a story about pretty much Bradley Cooper's the reason Will Arnett got sober because
Yeah.
Will Arnett got like fucked up at like a dinner with Bradley Cooper and a few other people, and then like I guess they lived in the same apartment complex, and he like went over to Bradley Cooper's the next day, and Bradley Cooper. He was just talking to Bradley Cooper. And he's like, you feel like good about last night? And he was like, what do you mean? He's like, you were like a fucking asshole last night. And he's like, seriously? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, oh, I guess I should get
Is this
sober.
in the Britney Spears book?
When I heard, I heard a similar thing like, oh, he got sober years ago, and I go, yeah, you know what? When I look back on that, he was probably like drunk and in a bad mood and cranky.
Yeah, because he probably wasn't successful yet, and he's. I
Oh.
feel like that's just the touch.
Yeah.
Same with
He goes from playing
Bradley
Call of
Cooper
Duty
got
with a
him
bunch of
sober because
SNL
I think he
writers.
was the same guy, like before he got sober.
Yeah.
Just like a bitter actor that just got drunk all the time.
That's the funny thing. When I get drunk, I don't get assholey. I give my dog a third dinner.
Her name is Claire. Yeah, no, you're a fun drunk.
I'm not too
Yeah,
bad.
I'm the same way. I don't get like mad or anything when I'm drinking.
Yeah, I
You
never
to-
used to get mad when I
You're an
drank.
angry drunk. You're an annoying drunk.
Yeah, you're annoying.
Tyler's
You're-
also an annoying drunk. I don't
You're
know,
a secret drunk.
Yep.
No, he's
He's
not.
sort of a secret
A
drunk.
secret
too.
drunk.
Well-
Tyler's eyes are looking
It's a
1,000
secret.
miles
Doll
away.
Don't ever look at my eyes. Ever
I
again,
can't.
you
They're
fucking
not
gay
present.
bitch.
Your eyes are in the back of your head. It's just all red.
That's where they hang out there.
Yeah,
You aren't
they're trying to
invited, so
find
don't
what
look at it.
remains of a brain.
No, I hang out in my brain without you, and you're not even. You can't even come, you
there's
can't
a-
come
you
over.
can't get in there.
Which is rude because there's a lot of room up there.
Seriously, try to get in my brain right now. Swear to God. Yeah, you can't do it, can you?
No, it's just a big fucking ball of fat.
This is normally what we do.
Logan, I was thinking Logan gets drunk like the way I do. You start to like slur a little bit. You get a little like
different slurs.
glassy eyed.
Logan
Yeah.
can go from like day and night real quick. Where
Yeah.
like it's like one drink he's like, oh, he's fine, and then the next you're like, what happened?
Yeah.
What'd you have,
He's
did you get
biting
rude?
you.
I've seen Logan go on stage sober and come off drunk.
Yeah, that's happened.
I've seen that happen. He goes out, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go, and then like he comes off, he's like, I'm like, what happened out there?
All the adrenaline
Yeah,
left his
sometimes
body.
I have been on stage a couple times, been like, oh no, like don't let anything slip.
Have you ever done a set you don't remember? I used to do
the
those
next
all
the
the
next
time.
day. Yeah,
I only have one
dude.
of those in my. I did 30 minutes once when I was living in New York. I don't remember.
Wow,
sick.
Whoa.
that's sick.
I always think about it. It was
That's
also
wild.
the first time I did 30 minutes.
Well, you probably drank because you were new.
You need to get through
Oh
it.
yeah, no, I was. I do the same. I do this still sometimes where I like go. Probably should have eaten or something, but
Yeah.
I'm here now. You know?
Yeah.
And
Liquid
then,
meal.
and then you get a little extra drunk.
Yeah, that's
cheaper.
saving money.
Yeah, saving money. But yeah, I remember specifically it was like a dive bar in Brooklyn, and they had. I walked in. I was nervous as fuck to feature, and then they were like, "Yeah, we got this thing going where it's like, for $2 you get like a PBR and a shot of whiskey." And I was like, "Cool,
That's the
I'll
best.
just do that." And I, you know,
Here's a 20.
every beer I'm doing a double shot of like cheap whiskey with it, and I just was like gone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you remember how the set went? Did you hear how? It
I
went?
remember doing that thing when I woke up the next day, going like, "Oh my god, like what the fuck?" I remember like walking on stage. That's like the last thing I remember. And I was like more concerned if I just did the full 30 at that point.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
I called around. I was doing that thing where I was like calling all my friends, and I'm
Yo,
like,
did you see that set of mine?
I don't remember. And they all laughed when I said it. It was one of those ones where I think I pulled it off a little bit more than I thought I did, because people were like, "You don't remember?"
You're like, we had fun last night, right?
Yeah.
It was
We
sick,
carried
right?
you out on a chair.
Yeah,
they
but-
gave you the key to the city.
Yeah, and they were like,
Will
"No,
Arnett
you're
was
okay."
like,
They go, "You were
"You
definitely
killed."
drunk." They were like, "You were definitely drunk, but you did it." And I was like, "I couldn't believe it," you know. And then, yeah, I think it wasn't that long after that I quit drinking for about 12 years.
One of those kind of shows.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, maybe I'm fucking self-medicating."
I remember early into comedy when I would get drunk on stage, I would code switch, and I didn't know it was happening until they
Early.
They were like, how come when you were? They're like, every time you go up drunk, like you start talking black, like halfway through.
Oh,
the set.
shit.
And I was like, what? And I like listened back. And I was
You go,
like,
oh shit!
yeah, man, what's up, motherfucker?
Yo, motherfuckers, last name
That's what
go
I'm
Brian. Go, man, he's really got to stop drinking before he goes up.
McGurk kind of does that sometimes.
Yeah, he does.
McGurk gets a little urban with his speech.
Yeah,
he doesn't even drink.
He's a little urban though.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Last night I was telling them before, but I didn't even see it. But like I did the Weed Loft, like the 10 p.m. and the 8 p.m. was a different lineup. And Peter Lou was on, and Big D was on, and Big D after somebody's like, man, you really like called out Peter for like code switch, and he's like, yeah, man, you can't be going up there like fucking talking black. And I was like, D, you do a joke where you do an Asian impression. You can't get mad at him for doing black.
I've never heard code switching before.
It's like it's like when if I'm talking to you, I'm like, hey, Will, what's going on? And then if like Cordova walked in the room, I'm like, yo, what's good, dog? Like,
Yeah. Oh, I see that a lot.
That happened.
I think that's why black people respect me. Is because I never
don't
code switch ever, and they're like, "This is the whitest kid I've ever met in my
I
life."
have caught myself. I remember one time I was talking to a black friend of mine, and I did that thing where I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, this dude's." I was like, "He's tripping," you know. And then I was like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? Like, I just came out. I was like, like it was almost like I was like, "Let me put this into words you'll understand."
yeah, I don't
What do
do
you
it.
guys call it? Tripping?
Tripping? I believe he was tripping.
Yeah, I don't do it with black people anymore. I do it with young people. So I'll talk to you guys. I'll be like, yeah, the other day I was like wicked drunk, and then like Amanda walks in the room. I'm like, shit. The other day I was no cap.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
drunk. It was not busting.
I was
Yeah.
finna.
I
get
lost all my
drunk.
riz.
Hey, what up, Joshy Mandy?
That is true. My wife makes fun of me for that all the fucking time.
Really?
'Cause- Yeah. Well, she just knows by the time it gets to me, it's like so over. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know about Riz? You know? And she's like, oh god.
I just got raised up
Yeah, exactly.
as it happens.
Honey, I just Googled Riz. We're good.
Pretty much.
If I Google a word, I'm like, man, I suck. This is not how you're supposed to know it.
yeah.
No, I did one the other day. I was like, I'm over here catching strays, and she's like, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening to you right now.
Falling asleep.
Yeah. She laughed. She was
Babe,
like,
I'm catching strays in the couch.
yeah, literally.
Are we not?
It
We're
was
not.
just like that. I was like, oh man, I'm so hungry. I'm just like catching strays.
You have
playing
like
Hogwarts. Like, shut the fuck up, man.
you're like in the alley with like a piece of cheese, just like a cat, like. Like, whoa, I'm trying to catch strays.
Yeah, I like that.
Get in the house.
That was good writing.
Good job.
I didn't get it at first, and then I was like, he probably is.
Don't touch me. Riz was the fucking dictionary like word of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Means charisma.
Charisma.
Yeah, I looked it up on Urban
On
Dictionary.
God.
It's funny that it's because we're so into social media that like people are talking about charisma. It's like that used to be a thing. I think like in acting school they'd be like, oh, he has charisma or she has charisma, and now it's like we all want it.
We all need
because we
charisma.
all need the fucking people to
Charisma's sick,
follow
man.
us.
It's
got
also
a
like
ton
a
of
funny.
charisma.
It
We
is
do
like
have
a $10 word for like young kids to be like dialing down to like just Riz. Like other slang isn't based off of like a bigger word. It's just like mad word.
I was
Tard.
I listened to I listened to this podcast like Chris
Don't talk
Williamson,
about other
Modern
podcasts.
Wisdom, and it's like I listened to it because
No, that's dinner at your place.
That's I listened to it though because I wanted to like listen to an interview with one guy, and now it's kind of like one of those like fucking Andrew Huberman kind of like man podcasts, you know?
That's what you're on right now, baby.
Yes, but it's
Fucking
it's
bitches.
got my
Yeah.
algorithm
Morning
like
routine,
super
we got
fucked up. Like
Riz?
Oh yeah.
it's hitting me with all these like fucking right wing like
Red
Ben
pill stuff?
Shapiro
I
type
got
of
a
guys.
bunch of
Yeah,
them the other
if you
day.
watch one thing, like,
Yeah.
So I was
Just like a
listening
guy
to
at
one.
a college being like, tell me why there's more than one gender or whatever.
Yeah,
says,
it was like, why are women so unhappy right now? You know?
Yeah, trans people should be able to vote in whatever bathroom they want.
Yeah, so I was listening to one, and they had like this 10-minute. They were like, "Isn't it interesting that people shorten charisma to Riz, and now
Like
it
Logan
matters. Now Riz matters again." And you're
Riz
like,
matters
"Yeah." Like I was like, "You guys are overthinking."
All Riz
Riz
matters,
lives
dude.
matter, man. I'm
I
hanging
hate
up
people
over
who
a
like
bridge.
use statistics in conversation.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You know, like they listen to so many podcasts. You know, like 1 in 6 men have depression,
have
and
charisma.
2 out of every 3 have charisma. 45% of women have bisexual thoughts that they do not act on.
I don't do that, but I can feel Dan preparing to accuse me of doing that.
No?
You kind of do that. I took it for you.
I was like, don't touch me.
Did you know two out of 4 South Shore boys are fucking gay?
No.
Shit.
Yeah, the 2 that.
Those
The two
I think it was the 2.
Not the one
two of
that-
the other ones.
it's the meat of the sandwich right now.
2 I saw kissing on my way in.
I'm the lettuce.
I'm going to be the tomato.
All right.
Look at Tyler's bicep and tell me you could ever be gay. You know what I mean? It's like, or
that
tell me
mean?
you
I don't
feel
know.
gay.
It's so hairy
It's
and
so
gross.
hairy.
Yeah,
I
until
could be
you
a bear if
until
I
you
wanted.
lift it just a little bit, and then the hair's just completely.
Oh, whoa! It just ends.
Yeah. Well, stop painting it right here. Sorry, stop painting it right there for the folks at home.
But like,
It's actually one pussy hair at a time. He glues on from his pictures.
This is every girl I
does
ever
it go all the way up your thighs? Does it touch all the way up your thighs?
Oh, yeah. My pubes are a disaster, man.
Is it just like one big?
It's
forehead?
one giant.
You're a hairy
I'm a
fella.
hairy fucking guy.
gross.
I'm
Yeah,
a
one
bear.
time somebody saw Tyler like
one saw me ever,
just
just so you
bottoms
know.
in the window, like, and they're like, "Is Robin Williams up there?"
Ooh, look at me. Ooh, I'm a big gay monster.
Back there, right?
Is Robin Williams from Jumanji in the window?
Ooh, my pubes are a disaster.
Yo, wait, what about the
Yo.
fucking Jews in
Yo.
the sewer, dude?
Oh, the tunnel rats?
Yeah.
I mean,
Coach
whatever.
Don't call them tunnel rats.
Is that from Fallout?
Yeah.
Cowabunga.
He's referencing Fallout. He's referencing Fallout.
What's going on?
Yeah, I missed this one.
So now it's immediate. Of course, it's immediately a conspiracy theory, but I don't really know what they were doing. But
The
like
Jewish system.
there was a
pretty
Hasidic
funny
temple
title,
in New York where they like the cops showed up because they found out they had like been tunneling under it and like using it to like get out. And there's like literally a
Get
video
out.
of like a Jewish guy like coming out of like a sewer
Yeah.
grate with like he's got his hat on. He's like trying to not
Wait,
fuck
like
up
full
the hat.
Hasidic Jew?
Yes.
That's
Oh,
who's doing it.
wow.
yeah.
And the cops in them like kind of
fun
are like
it
brawling
remix.
because like they're trying to get them not to fill the hole. But what's
all
fucked
float
but
down
the
here.
conspiracy theory is they got like pictures in the sewer and it's like a bunch of like kids clothes and stuff and they're like there's a kids like hospital or like something like across the street and they're like it's sex trafficking. They were tunneling in there
They
to
are
like to
famous
steal
for like
kids.
molesting.
Do
just
you
like
have a
Catholic priests.
Pennywise?
Hell
They
yeah.
have the same problem. But
Tell them.
Did you see the side story to it where like the guy was tweeting for a year like, I swear everyone thinks I'm crazy, but there's people speaking Yiddish underneath my
Yes.
floor.
Whoa.
Do you
That
remember? Did you
rose.
see that? And
I
he was
saw
like,
that, yeah.
and then last week he was retweeting all the streets, going like, "Everyone owes me an apology."
That rocks.
He's like, "I don't have a basement. I live on the first floor." He's like, "I swear, this. I know how this sounds. There are people speaking Yiddish below me."
That is so funny. You're just like trying to get to sleep, and you're just like, I said no cream cheese on the blocks. You know I have a dairy
Well, help
allergy.
you count. 1, 2. For me,
I rented
one for you.
one of my
Three for me.
apartments that I rented was like from the HITHIUM, and I had to go into their office to like sign the papers and stuff. It was like something, they were scary. It was like they're like Amish people. They're like Jewish Amish people.
They also
do
have
the-
like their own like everything. Like they have their
Everything.
own like ambulance and everything.
Yeah, well, the footage of them, like, and the cops getting into it is like kind of scary because it's like there's so many of them, and they're just like,
Oh, yeah.
they are not happy.
No, and they have a large.
They're not a group to be reckoned
They can
with,
tunnel,
for
but they
They have
can
a lot
also
of-
build towers of
You mean
themselves,
reasons?
like cheerleaders.
sure. They're not to reckon with them.
No, they have a lot of like power. I think in New York City, like
Yeah, they do.
like
They do.
financial and like real estate. So the city has to
Climate.
play ball with them on everything. I remember when I lived there, they didn't want because Brooklyn's always kind of been their zone, and Brooklyn was getting gentrified, and all these like chicks were riding their bicycles with like big, tank tops on, and that's like Hasidic women, like or
Can't
like
see
Muslim
that.
women, they like cover themselves, right? So it was like they were sick of people riding their bikes through their neighborhood, like women in tank tops, and the city like put a stop to it.
Oh, really?
Wow.
They took the side of the
No tits out.
Actually, I saw the funniest like explanation for the tunnel was. Do you remember there was that video of like it's like a marathon and the Hasidic Jews are like trying to get across
Oh,
the
yeah.
street, and they're like, "This is why they built the tunnel."
What's up with tunnels though? It's like people are tunneling.
Yeah, there's a lady building a tunnel like under her land.
Yeah.
That they're like, you gotta stop.
Yeah, it's wicked dangerous.
She has like an like an actual like fucking huge tunnel under her property, but it's all her property. So like,
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
If you don't know how to like properly like support that, it could cave in on you at like any
Yeah.
second.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's
Who
like,
cares?
and
Let the
it's
bitch die.
underneath your home.
The
so it's
Hasids
holding up
and
the
the-
house.
Oh yeah.
There was a guy, a Bitcoin like billionaire dude, who was like a 4chan nerd, like, and he lived in his parents' old house in like Detroit or something. And but he still had millions and stuff. So he was digging a tunnel underneath his house, and it collapsed and killed a guy. And now
Whoa.
he's in prison for like 40 years because like he fucked up like the infrastructure of like his whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
They had to like evict people.
what do you
and stuff
do
like
with
that.
all of the dirt though?
Yeah, it's like
I'll take it.
Shawshank.
I love
You
the
gotta, yeah.
I mean, I used to just love digging when I was a kid.
Yeah, digging was the best. We should build a fucking tunnel
It's so internet
under
though.
the
Like,
boys.
that would be like one crazy person a decade would do that, but now every time one of these stories comes out, people are like, "I should dig a fucking tunnel."
Let's dig a
Right in my
tunnel.
house.
It's funny that
Let's
that's the
dig
end
a
game.
tunnel.
That guy started by doing that. He's just like, maybe I'll just start digging a bit. Then cut to like, whoa, I'm in jail for like killing people.
Yeah, literally.
That's fucking
It
nuts.
was like
dig a
it was a
tunnel from
YouTube
here
video.
to
It was a
Capo.
deep dive, but it's
Yeah.
good.
It's so sick.
Let's dig it down from here to the capo basement. Come up from like one of the pictures or something like
We're
that.
digging the tunnel. We break through. We're like, oh, hello, Hasids.
Yeah.
Oh, after you.
That's the funny thing. We're like, let's dig a tunnel. We just find out everyone has tunnels.
There's a bunch of Jews down here.
we ran to the Hasids, we'd be like, "Damn, we took a very wrong turn. we ended up in Brookline somehow."
Did you ever fantasize about walking down in the sewers and shit?
Yeah, I used to go down in the sewers over by the Marriott Quincy.
Yeah.
You could go under the sewer and we'd smoke weed underground and you could hear the cars
Yeah,
going over
that's
on the
sick.
sewer.
Oh, wow,
It was
we
so
used-
sick.
Holy shit, I remember. Yeah, we had that too, right outside my parents' house. Jesus
I love
Christ.
going
Yeah, we had
underground.
one of those.
Yeah.
We had one of those. Like it's like a what the fuck is that?
Huh, that sometimes just happens.
There's someone digging a tunnel.
Those are the Jews out
Like,
there.
Dishwasher.
it's like an overflow tunnel or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like for water.
Yeah.
That's we used to. This is very stupid. There's like the Manaquit River in Braintree.
Oh, yeah, 50.
There's like there's an old there's like a shutdown factory in Braintree called I don't even remember what it's called, but we used to break in there to like just fuck around 'cause
Yeah.
we're just teenagers. But the river had like that's where it was like the entry point, and it would go down, and we all bought like inflatable alligators
Whoa.
and like went down it, and we like very quickly were like, we've made a grave mistake. Like it picked up
Get
big
serious,
time. Like all of
yeah.
us are getting slammed off rocks. We're like, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. And then we had to crawl, like literally, like fucking crawl
alligator
out.
popped.
We were like, that was such a stupid idea.
And then you're like, and then you hear a story 10 years later about like some kid dying that way, and you're like, I can see it.
My friend, well, actually, so when you got in, like that was the most of the river was like pretty shallow, but like where you got in was like very deep. And our friend Tamkins, he went in and he had like fully like loose jeans on, and there was like a pipe under the water and it snagged his jeans and he was like stuck, and it was like the current was like, and he was like literally like, help.
Tampins died that day.
No, just us on like inflatable alligators like on the way here, like to free him.
Like Captain Hook.
And I remember a cop like caught us. He's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing down there?" And we were like,
You'll never catch me,
we're like,
officer.
we're riding inflatable alligators down the river. He's like, all right, I thought you were like spray painting. He's like, I don't give a fuck. What is this, communist Russia? You float down the river if you want. We're like, okay, thank you.
It's a hilarious.
Thanks for your weird
statement.
political points, officer.
In Russia, the river be frozen.
In Russia, alligator rides you.
It's also like God knows what was in that water.
Thanks, Will.
It's like literally like spouting from like a
We did
shut
it.
down factory.
Where is there a factory in Braintree?
It's
It's not there anymore.
I wonder if it is still there, but it was like you know where the Dunkin' Donuts near the RMV is?
Yeah.
It's like
Oh, that makes sense.
it's like on the other side of those train tracks.
doing hyper local
Yeah.
geography.
This
stuff.
moment of hyper.
It's actually
Triangulate our
I
location.
think it's the same place where like Sako and Vanzetti were like murdered.
I don't know who that is.
You know Sako and Vanzetti?
I don't either.
Really?
I know.
Enlighten
It's
us.
like a very famous. I kind of like forget the whole story. It was like two
Yeah, no,
Italian
me either.
immigrants, like back in the
Sako.
1800s or
Mamma
something.
mia.
Oh,
Maybe early
We have
1900s.
alligator floats.
But I forget what they did. But they were like publicly executed for like whatever they did.
In Quincy? I mean, in Braintree?
but I
Yeah,
think so.
Braintree does bullshit like that. They hate immigrants and shit.
Okay,
Braintree's the
we
worst.
we let you have Quincy.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it
Stomp
was
the
originally
Womps,
part of
dude.
Braintree.
That's a good point.
Stomp the Womps, by the way, for real.
Stomp the
Braintree
Womps.
exists. That Braintree is so guys from Quincy can get teenage girls pregnant. That's what. Braintree's the capital of like. I remember there used to be all these articles when I was growing up about like Braintree High had to put like a fucking daycare center in the school because so many chicks at Braintree High were pregnant.
It's the best.
Okay,
Yeah, we had
sorry,
that in Weymouth.
I got this a
Yeah.
little wrong. Sako and Vanzetti were Italian immigrant anarchists who were controversially convicted of murdering two people, a guard and a paymaster, during an armed robbery of the Slater and Miller Shoe Company in Braintree, Massachusetts. 7 years later, they were executed in an electric chair at
Jeez, that's a little
Charlestown
harsh.
prison.
Electrocution.
Yeah.
You don't touch our shoes, you dirty guinea.
I'd be so pissed. being
Italians do
electrocuted.
love shoes, dude.
They sure do.
Mamma mia.
Italian
Make 'em.
boots.
They wear them.
Oh, they do. They make them and then they wear
They make them. They wear them. They chase a women with them.
Scotty, we're talking about Italians and their shoes. Thoughts?
Oh.
Hey.
What are they wearing?
The fucking alligator boots.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah,
do
alligator.
that.
With the mozzarella.
Alligator inflatable boots.
The fuck?
I have noticed Italians seem to be the race like people like to make fun
That's
of
the
the
new-
most.
Yeah, that's the one you can still get away with.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
I did one the other day. It was pretty hacky too. This guy was like, his wife was trying to talk, and I go, "Where are you? Where are you?" And the guy was covered, and I was like, "Oh, he's beating his wife. He must be Italian."
You don't fucking talk about my country like that. No. What did you find out what he was? Was he Italian?
Yeah, he was Italian.
It was a black guy.
Yeah.
Black guy.
And he was beating his wife.
Yeah, he was beating her.
It's true.
We just watched an episode of Cops the other day
Bad boys.
in Boston, and it was sick.
Oh, word.
They're all fucking like, just the characters.
Dude, was it an
It's-
older one or? a new
Yeah,
one?
yeah. It was like
Yeah.
late '80s, early
Dude,
'90s.
I'm gonna sound like such an asshole. I'm gonna sound like that guy.
Yeah.
But that was my dad. Was the police liaison. He's in the credits. George. Noonan,
Really?
of every one of
That's
those.
so sick.
He was the
He
guy.
had to like sign off on it or something.
He was just with them. So he was
Oh.
just
You're
with
acting like that's not the most.
He
famous
was on
person
Cops?
ever.
Yeah, he was never. So he was never like on. He was literally there like to take them from place to place and be like.
Who's
where-
the guy that was like, shut the camera off?
Yeah, yeah, literally. It'd be like not now.
Cut
like-
your
but my
bars, man.
uncle John was on it. Like he was in an episode of it. But we had all the. They gave my dad all the raw tapes.
Whoa.
So when we had them at home, and like it was like everything they shot, so it was actually like really boring at times. Like
Yeah.
There's so
but
much
there was
evidence.
also some fucked up shit on there.
that didn't air.
But he has. It was like the third season of Cops. It wasn't like.
Whoa, so it's fresh.
It was really new and stuff. And but that was an exciting thing. Like he did, and
Yeah,
he used to
I'm
talk
pumped
about
about
that
this.
all the time. And he was like, "Yeah, I rode around with them. I told them like where to go." And he just said it was like crazy because he's like they have to edit out every criminal being like, "What the fuck is this?"
That's what I.
Like you're already getting arrested. And you're like, "What the hell?" Like the bright white light
That's
in your
what I
face.
wondered. I was like, how are they not addressing what's happening?
Yeah,
Like
the
at any
cameras
point.
back then were like,
Yeah.
fucking 45 pounds or whatever.
It's funny cops
That's a great
now, they'd
point.
probably be like, ooh, am I getting on a reality TV show?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Now they-
you are. Get on the fucking
I mean, now they have live PD, which is like you can watch people getting arrested that night.
Yeah. I fucking
Uh,
love watching people getting arrested.
can't
It's
wait to
so
be on
I
live
watch
PD.
DUI people on YouTube all
yeah,
the
yeah,
time.
That's a big one of mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in my algorithm.
Tyler's taking like game notes. He's
I use it as like my own little dare class. I'm like, don't be like this, don't be that person. But some of those
Watching it
are
while driving.
incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're so good. I love people trying to get out of DUIs when they're clearly hammered.
I love the ones where like the guy can't even like look at the like when
Yeah.
the cop pulls him over and he's like,
Hey, officer.
those are crazy.
Yeah, man.
And then sometimes I feel bad. Like sometimes you're like, just let her go.
Because
she can make it.
She's hot. Let her go.
It'd be funny. They're like, just go straight home. They're like, no problem. And then just fucking. My other roommate Mike, his dad is he was a Harvard cop.
Miss you, Mike.
But he was a Harvard cop, and he was there when Dave Attell was still doing Insomniac. Like he went to Harvard, and like his dad is like in the episode,
Insomniac.
like showing Attell around. And
That's
stuff.
so awesome.
So it's funny. We were so young. Like at the time, we thought Insomniac was like a boring show.
I know.
We were like, who cares?
Yeah, I
Who
could
the fuck
never
is
watch
Dave
that.
Attell?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that show is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
that-
watch it now, it's great. It's funny because it's like it's almost like a live action Louis because it like opens with, or like it has
Stand-up,
bits
yeah.
of Attell doing stand up, and then it's like him just getting drunk on the town.
He said he loved doing it, but it got once the show got popular, it was like he couldn't do it anymore
Yeah.
because he was like the whole point was like we'd go to bars and no one like gave a fuck that we were there. Like
Yeah.
they might come over and like mug for the camera a little bit,
But they didn't know what was
like,
happening.
But then it was like once it was on Comedy Central, he's like we couldn't go anywhere and couldn't get any natural interactions out of anyone.
Yeah, that's how I don't really understand like Impractical Jokers like continuing at this point because I'm like, how the fuck do like most
think they
people
have-
not recognize these guys?
As someone who watches Impractical Jokers
Yeah.
quite a bit, I believe they have plants left and right on that show
You
now.
think so?
There's
Yeah.
no way they're not plants
Especially
now.
when it's
I don't
something
think-
like
well,
It's like the Jackass effect, where like they had to do like they couldn't do like the pranks as much because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's
Yeah.
fucking Steve-O.
Well, Practical Jokers
Yeah.
is doing like new stuff, like new style now because they're recognized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. People
God,
love
so
those
fucking-
guys.
I fucking love,
I love
Practical
that so
Jokers.
much,
Didn't
man.
they? Didn't they bring somebody?
They had like Eric Andre,
They had a
other
bunch-
people.
Yeah, they had a whole season.
Brooke
of-
Shields was on for some reason.
because Joe Gatto left. So
Joe
they-
Gatto got a divorce, so
Oh, he got a divorce?
yeah, so he needed to get off the show. So
Are we allowed
like
to air
the
that?
funds, yeah, I talked to him about
They were
it.
like they was trying to hide a little money.
Yeah, I think that was the idea.
Those guys
Oh.
were like the most hated guys for a while, just because out of jealousy, just because people were jealous of them.
Yeah.
because they were like the original, like the way we hate like Instagram famous people, like
Yeah.
comics like Nick DiPaolo. I remember being like, "Fucking guys are selling out fucking arenas."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they just it's good. Like it wasn't even
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
hate, but it was just. But I'm like, hey man, it's just like they hit it, you know. I mean, think about how like. Imagine if like you were like 45 and you live in Long Island and you're three friends and you're like, yeah, we're gonna pitch this TV show where we prank people. Everyone's gonna be like, yeah, good luck with that, buddy.
Yeah,
Like, you're
and being
old.
like that old and doing it.
That's
you know
what I mean,
They
you
were all
know?
like
They all
not young guys,
and
when they
not
started.
famous and not like they
silly
weren't
goofballs.
super well connected or
Yeah.
anything, but they like people like the True TV.
They struck.
I know,
gold,
right?
man.
They
But they got-
fucking revived
made
that
you-
channel.
Well, it's like these things happen like that are. They made a good show, but also it's like True TV had like 3 shows, so their shows were on like 15 times
Yep.
a day.
Yeah.
So it would
Still
be
is.
like,
Them.
so people would just be like
Carbonaro.
forced to watch it, and then
yeah, just
and then
slowly.
slowly it gets in.
And it's just like nothing to. I don't know. It's sick. I love
I
like
love it so much.
old TV. I hate streaming.
It's funny that it like also is like influenced. That show's so like produced like so expertly, but like they have like safeguards for like the people doing the pranks in case like things go wrong, like so they don't get like fucking killed.
Yeah.
But now there's like a bunch of kids on like TikTok and Instagram that like just fuck with people in public. And it's like you're gonna
People
like,
get killed.
caught.
A
Yeah.
guy got killed like a few weeks ago doing one of those pranks.
Yeah, because some of the like white kids will go to like the hood and like do something like fucking stupid,
Yeah.
and it's like, are you out of your fucking
Philly
Stay out of
is
the
having
hood.
a problem with that. Trank The people on Trank in Philly.
Trank?
Yeah. Oh, guys, I'm telling you guys about Trank.
We're not hip to the
Trank,
news.
Sorry, we have too much Riz to know what Trank
Croc-
is.
crocodile or whatever.
It's like the new, it's like the new street drug that's like awful.
Oh, it's a drug.
It's a street drug.
Horse
It's like
Trank?
it's worse than fentanyl because the side effect of Trank is you get like huge open sores on
Yeah,
your body.
it's
Ew.
like crocodile.
Yeah.
That was like 10 years ago. That's
So
what it was.
apparently it's-
Inflatable crocodile.
that's the title of the episode.
Whoa.
It was it's huge in Philly. So there apparently is a thing with TikTokers going to Philly on Trank tourism to like here I am in Philly. Like it's like
Well, that's the fucking old
Let's go
dirty
to Philly.
Boston guy did that at fucking
Meth Mile.
Oh yeah, you gave out pizzas
Woo!
to crackheads.
What a
That was
day.
so nice of you.
So nice. What a time
I
we
tell you,
had.
ever tell you the time a woman
bite.
jumped in the back of my car with me and Dan Bulger in it?
Really? What, on Mass Ave?
On Mass Ave, at Methadone Mile.
I'm always nervous driving around
It
there.
was like 3 years ago. Trisha Ald got a
Jumped in the back of the car.
no. We did a
She's
Christmas.
like, y'all got some stage time?
We did a private Christmas party in like the South End, right? At like some rich guy's house.
Yeah.
It ends. Me and Dan are driving back to Southie. Like, so Dan, classic, always wants to take you to like some. He's like, there's this chicken place over here. It's so good.
Oh, the chicken and waffles
yeah,
place.
chicken waffles.
Yeah, that place.
So
You potheads are nuts.
he goes, you
Henhouse.
want to go? I'm like, well, fuck it. It's on the way. Let's go, But it's like down Mass Ave a bit, almost to South Bay.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Henhouse.
instead of taking that left into like, back
safe-
Right.
Southie,
safe zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
safe zone.
Yeah.
I go straight deeper into and not far into it, this dude is legit beating up his girl in the middle of the road.
Oh,
like
no.
in the
Italian
middle
fella.
of the path of my car, right?
Yeah.
And I
So
still
you
don't,
hit them.
I still don't know like what came over me or what I thought I was doing.
what
but
ethnicity are you?
she got away from him and he was holding her by the arm and I like kind of just nudged my car into
Whoa.
Oh, you're a hero.
into him a little bit, so he had to like let go
Let
over
go.
him.
Yeah.
And Dan's sitting there literally frozen, like. So
Ah.
she runs. She gets instead of like in my imagination, she was just gonna run off into the night.
Yeah.
She runs around and opens the back fucking door of my
She goes,
Honda.
go.
Accord and just jumps in, and closes it. And I swear, this
By
dude,
Honda.
This dude's going, I like hit the lock on the thing, and this dude's going, and I look back. I swear to God, this was like this part of he's going, and I look, and the dude, even though he's like mad and he was just beating her up, he's like dead eyes, like he's just like, on the thing. And I pull away. He holds on for a second, and I swear, 30 seconds, total silence.
With the lady in the car.
In the
With
car.
the lady in the back. I'm driving. Dan's sitting like this, looking straight ahead. She is in the back, breathing like a rabbit that just got like chased up a tree. She's
Yeah.
Dan's like, you like chicken and waffles?
So she goes. So I'm like, hey, this is like literally it's like a pretty hairy situation back there. She's like, could you just take me to like South Bay and drop me off like at the bus stop there?
Yeah.
I was like, can I take you somewhere? Can I drop you off up here or something? I will say, like, she didn't look super like a street person.
She was
Yeah,
fresh.
probably just in a bad
Like, I think she
yeah.
was new to this.
New to the scene, yeah.
She was really crying and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the funny thing about this story. So she goes,
Crying?
She goes, well, no,
I've been cracking up the whole time.
she goes, I don't want to ask, but this guy like took he has everything. He has my purse. He has like all my
Yeah.
stuff. She's like, could you just give me like $3 for the bus, And I'm like, of course, right? So I give her like $5. And whenever I told this story to people, they'd be like, there you go. She got you. They got you. I'm like, if that's their scam,
Yeah.
if they went through all that for
$5?
$3 to $5, they fucking deserve it. And she's Meryl Streep, because that was like the greatest performance I've ever seen in my fucking life.
And you asked her for $2 back.
Yeah, I told because it was a crazy story, so I was telling it all the time. Like,
Yeah.
After having so many people like, you got fucking robbed, dog. No, she fucking
What a
scammed you.
scam.
I'm like, no, it was chaotic, and then it was great. We dropped her off, and Dan was like, well, I think we should, never do that again. And then this is the worst part. We go. He still wants to go to the chicken and waffle place, and I was like, Dan, I think we maybe should just like get out of this neighborhood, right? He's like, nah, let's go there. So we go to the fucking place. I go in and take a piss, and I come out, and Dan's like, hey, I think that dude just walked in.
Say that. Really?
He's like, let's get out of here. So then we left.
2 chicken and waffles, please.
But it was like so
go.
intense. And now, best believe, when I'm like a mile away from that spot, I'm like, ka-kunk, like,
Yeah,
lock,
you
lock, lock.
gotta lock them up.
Dan's like, I think that guy just walked in. You're like, how do you know? He just has a purse around his face.
Yeah, but now my new car, I got a new car now, and it automatically locks the doors as soon as you get
In
in.
bad neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Up, you're on Mass and Cast. Lock them up.
If it sees an abortion clinic, it's like, ka-chink. Check cashing place. Cha-chink. Sprint mobile. Cha-chink.
That's a methadone mile fucking. I hate I have to drive on it like all the time for work, and just sometimes I have my window down and I don't think about it, and then I get to like the red light and I see the guy, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the confidence to be like,
Hey, my little half fucking guy. I used to play for the Bruins. What's up?
I just don't look at them. I just like maintain eye contact with the road.
Most of them are here now. It's like they arrest people there, and they're from like fucking New Hampshire, Nevada, all over the country. People come to Methadone Mile. It's like Vegas.
Oh wow.
It's like it's like
I remember
one of
during
the 7
COVID.
great heroin wonders.
I used to have to drive through there a lot during COVID when I would go to like Bill's. It was on my way back, and I eventually stopped even going through. Like I was like, I'll just go out of the way.
Yeah. They cleared
I
it
go around.
now. It's
But,
like
yeah.
there's never people there.
During COVID, there were people. I swear to God, I saw a dude chilling in a tent watching a flat screen.
Yeah, they
You're
fucking.
like, how does he
Yeah,
have that on?
I saw a guy shooting heroin into another guy's neck on the way to Bill's the other night. It's a bad area.
you
gotta
the neck. Yeah, you don't want to
gotta do something.
War on drugs.
How bad? How into heroin are you? Oh, I shoot into my neck. Oh fuck.
I'm up to my neck in it.
Even other heroin addicts like, fuck, man.
You need help.
Yeah, that's how they're like, well, I'm not that bad.
I'm not shooting into my neck.
I'm not like old Timmy Neck over there. Man. All right, what, you looking for the time?
I've like tried drugs, you know, like, but I could never imagine being like, yeah, give me that. I want to stab that in my neck.
Yeah,
You
fuck
know, like-
that.
I remember. I actually I used to date a girl, and her dad owned a check cashing company that's like not far from Methadone.
Was the
Mile.
girl
I
you
like
picked
worked
up?
there for a little while, and I was like, what does your dad really do?
I know. Well, I go to that Dunkin' Donuts. Sometimes it's in Andrew Square, and that's like the Methadone Mile. That's like where they get their dunks.
Yeah.
It's such a funny scene. It's like cops go there because it's the
Yeah.
only 24-hour dunks around there. So it's like cops are in there. All the Methadone Mile people are in there. And like, you're in there.
Southie people, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
But it's like that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, these
It's a melting
people are
pot of
so...
what are the cops gonna do?
No, it's just like... It
Will?
cracks me up. No, nothing, but I think it must be funny because they're probably like, they probably
They
know
know,
each other by
yeah,
face
for
or
sure.
something, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, they're like, hey, you need a nice coffee, John? You know? Wow.
I got you a gift card.
What did you see anything like scary at that check cashing place?
No, I mean, some of the people coming in to check cashes, to cash checks were definitely like sus, but I was like in the basement for most of it. Like I was doing like Excel spreadsheet shit.
I used one of those for years when I lived in New York. I like lost my fucking bank card. I just like was too lazy to ever like do anything back then. So I just like took my paychecks to check cashing places. It's like the biggest rip of all time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
take
take
money,
like-
right?
They
Yeah.
take tons.
I'd like to cash this $37 check, please.
Yeah.
You know we charge an $18 fee to cash that?
There was an
For
NFL
sure.
guy in that documentary he broke. He's like, I took my first NFL check to a check cashing place,
Wow.
and they took like $30,000.
Oh, no. What a dumbass.
Because it's there's a thing on the wall that shows like the percentage.
Yeah.
Well, that's like
so
it's not the
funny.
same in all, but
It's how the poor stay
NFL
poor.
started behind like homeless people.
well, that's
It's incredible.
Very famous, like old dirty bastard from Wu-Tang. Like
Getting-
he rented a limo to go to the welfare
Yeah.
office to get his check after like Wu-Tang hit it.
Yeah, it's
That's sick.
kind of fucked up. I remember thinking that even then. I'm 19. I'm like, wow, I'm poor. I'm in here with all the other poor people. We can't have bank accounts because we all have like bad credit or probably owe banks money. So we were forced to do this, and yet this is just going to keep us all poor. I was like, oh fuck. I think capitalism is failing me right now.
The system
Way to
is
tick.
rigged.
Wait a minute. These economics aren't trickling down at all.
Dig a tunnel.
Dig a tunnel.
We're at like 115.
A tunnel?
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was just gonna say, a tunnel feels like one of those things that like we'd start and really not finish. It would be like
Yeah, probably. That's most things in my life.
It's like writing a joke.
I'm sure people have done this bit, but it's like in a movie when someone like digs a grave really quick. It's like you don't just dig a grave really quick.
Yeah,
You really got to
takes you a while. You need a backhoe for that.
Yeah.
I mean, most people probably couldn't dig a grave, like even like with a full day.
You'd be
No,
surprised.
that's why a lot of times
I'll
in movies
show
they're
you.
like they make them dig their own grave. They're like, I'm not fucking digging a grave.
We'll be
That
back
is that-
tomorrow.
Yeah, wasn't
You
that
stay
in
here.
Casino? He dug his own grave.
Yeah. I think so.
Put you in a
Man,
hole in
what
the
a way to go.
desert.
Charlie M.
All right. Will, you got anything?
Continue to watch my special over and over.
Watch that
again.
special on YouTube.
50
Will
TikToks
Noonan,
at once.
At once.
comedian.
Capo every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
night.
Instagram, Will Noonan. I'm verified
Will Noonan.
now.
Yo,
Pay
hell
for it.
yeah.
He's a blue check motherfucker. I'm gonna go Twitch right now. He's a blue check motherfucker. That
He's
Will.
a motherfucking
check.
blue
Shit, man.
check.
That's blue check Willie, man.
Now you can see me. That shit works, man. As soon as I did it, I
really?
noticed an uptick.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Damn
Yeah.
it.
Interesting.
Well, we'll be
mean,
verified soon
Think
on
about it.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. And no one else has anything, right?
That's it.
Okay. Thanks.
Goodbye.
You subscribe.
Bye.
Yeah, it definitely works. Which totally makes sense, right? Because Instagram probably wants everyone to do it.
Yeah.
I get nervous when we like do a paid ad or something like that. That once they have your money, they're like,